Hey boys and girls, welcome back to the art table, and today we are going to talk about something called a still life, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's something from life that is still. Artists use still lifes all the time to practice drawing from observation, which we've talked about before, which is pretty exciting. So the first thing you're going to need to do today is make a still life, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is go gather up some stuff from around your house and stick it together in a way that looks interesting to you. So I have a coffee cup, my crayon tower, a thing of paper towels, and a box of markers. You could go find a bunch of Lego minifigures. You could get out some plates and some bowls. You could find some of your toys and stack them together. It's literally anything you have in your house, and you set them up in a way that looks interesting. So we'll talk about doing that really quick. We are going to talk about setting that stuff up first. So the very first thing I'm going to do is position my tallest thing, which is my paper towel holder. That's going to go in the back. And then I'm going to take the second tallest thing, stick it there, stick the coffee cup in, and then maybe the markers go in like that. So that is my still life. Now we're going to start drawing. That's it. You just stack some stuff up together and we're going to draw it. So to do that, you need your stack of stuff, crayons or pencil, and some paper. All right, let's get started on this. There are actually going to be lots of choices I give you for how you can make a still life. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make a still life. And you can choose whichever one you do, or you could do all 3 of them. That's up to you. Or you could invent your own new way. That could be pretty exciting as well. So the first thing you have to do is pick a color to start with. I'm going to start with black because I always do. And then you have to pick which type of still life you are going to do. I'm going to teach you 3, as I said before. I'm going to teach you a realistic one, an abstract one, and a contour line one. So you get to scroll through and pick which one you watch, or you can watch all 3 and pick from there, or you can watch all 3 and do all 3. That's up to you. So the first one I'm going to teach you is the realistic one, because I know a lot of my friends are probably going to want to focus on that one first. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick a place on my still life to start. I'm actually going to rotate my picture because my still life is pretty tall. So I want a lot of paper. It's tall and it's skinny. If yours is short and wide, you want your paper short and wide. And I'm just going to start at the very top. And I'm going to look at what shape I see there. The top of that paper towel holder, it's kind of a flat oval. So I'm just going to draw what I see. I see a flat oval. I'm going to draw a flat oval. And then I see a tiny rectangle underneath it. So I'm going to draw that. And then I see another kind of rectangle underneath that. And then the paper towel tube, that's just a wider long rectangle. So I'm going to draw that. And it has a paper towel that I can see on it. So I'm just going to draw a line for where the paper towel is. Okay. And then my marker box is right there. And it starts with kind of just a straight line across. And then this other weird little line is the top of the box. It's kind of sticking out. And I just saw a rectangle and a weird rectangle. So I drew a rectangle and then the weird rectangle. And now I'm seeing a pretty uniform rectangle for the very top of the box. But it has a bunch of circles on it. So I'm just going to draw those. And it's okay if they're not in the exact right spot. Now, if you are really, really, really wanting to make it super realistic, yes, you could measure with your crayon and have everything a certain distance apart, and you could count exactly how many of each thing is there and add that. But that is your choice. You don't have to do that. And then the rest of it is kind of just a biggish rectangle. And then it's got this little crescent shape where the markers stick out. And the markers are just rectangles inside there. Kind of looks like a face with teeth, doesn't it? Kind of silly. All right. And then I've got my crayon tower. It's got a loop. And then it has a whole bunch of crayons in it. But they sort of make a circle. So I'm going to very lightly press to make that circle to kind of build the tower. And then I can put the tops of the crayons on. And again, I could be doing this a lot more neatly. I could definitely be paying attention to exactly how many crayons are there, and I could pay attention to, hey, if there's a broken one, right? And then I can add the rest of the crayon down the side to show that the crayon has a body. And then my crayon tower has a see-through base to it. So I'm going to add that by just making a line here that comes out. And then I do the same thing up here. I'd add the crayons in the tower. And no matter what you're drawing, you get to choose how much of the details you actually add to it. For example, I'm only going to focus on the shapes of things for mine and not all of the teeny tiny details, because I could write Crayola across the top here. I could have each of the crayons have a little bit of a circle with the Crayola symbol on it. I'm not going to do that. I am just focusing on the shapes for mine. That's my choice. If you want to be a little bit more realistic on yours and add in all the other stuff, you may absolutely do that. All right. And then my coffee cup is hanging out over here, and I see that the top of it is just an oval shape. And then it kind of tapers in like that. It has a bottom, and then the handle just goes swoop. Then I can come up here. I can fill in those lines just a little bit better. And I am noticing actually that the paper towel holder kind of sticks out over here. So I'll draw that in. And then I have the drawing of my still life. Lift you guys up a little bit. And the next step would be to color it in. That's it. Pretty easy. All right, the second type of still life I'm going to show you guys is an abstract style. My first grade friends are going to remember when we talked about cubism. This is going to be kind of a cubist style one. So if you're choosing to do this one, you can have all of the pieces of your still life, or you can just pick one. I'm only going to do one. I'm only going to do my coffee cup this time. And since my coffee cup is short and wide, I'm going to keep my paper short and wide. So cubism is a lot of fun. And my first grade friends learned a lot about this already. What cubism allows us to do that regular drawing doesn't is it allows us to draw all of the parts and sides and places on our coffee cup or whatever object we're drawing at the same time and to show all of it, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to set this over here where I can see it. And then I'm going to start drawing. So when I start drawing, I think I want to start at the top, showing off the circle shape of my coffee cup. And in Cubism, I don't have to keep it standing upright the way it is right now. I can turn that circle onto its side, but then draw the rest of the coffee cup shape right way up. And I can choose show off the handle by drawing it like this. And maybe I want to show off more of that circle shape. Maybe I really want that to be important. So I start putting in more circles. Maybe there's a circle hanging out over here. Maybe my coffee cup is on its side over here, so I draw it sideways. The cool thing with Cubism is you can add as many or as few parts of your project as you want to. Maybe I've got this all with the coffee coming out of it, showing that with zigzags. I don't know. It's my project. So here is what a cubist coffee cup could look like. Doesn't have to look like this, and that's what is really, really cool. Again, like I said before, about this style of drawing. You can make it as abstract or as realistic as you want to. Some artists to look up if you want to learn more about Cubism would be an artist named Baroque or another one named Pablo Picasso that some of you might have learned a little bit about in art class. The last one we're going to do today is called a blind contour line drawing, or just a contour line drawing. If you don't want yours to be blind, it doesn't have to be. Blind basically would mean that you're not going to look at your paper while you're working. Regular contour line drawing just means that you're going to follow the contour line process, which is you don't lift your pencil. So we are going to start at the tippy top of our project, or the bottom, or the side, or the middle, or the other side. That's up to you. I like to start at the top of mine. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your crayon or pencil or marker down on your paper, and then you're going to try as hard as you can not to look at your paper anymore and not to pick up your crayon. Okay? And you're going to go slowly and try to get your eyes and your crayon to move at the same time. So I see that there's a down line, so my eyes are going down that line, and my crayon is going down, and then I see that there's an up line. And go all the way down, it's scary. Then we're going to try to go back up. I'm trying really hard not to look, but it's super, super hard. If you do peek, that's okay. Sometimes we do peek to kind of help us get it back to where we want it to be, and that's okay. Just don't pick up your pencil. If you really, really do want this to be completely blind, what you do is you put something over top of your paper while you're drawing so that you can't peek. And remember, you're not lifting your crayon, and you're trying really hard not to peek at your paper, which is very hard. You guys saw right there that I just totally peeked, and that's okay. And there is my contour still life. And the really cool thing about contour still lives is because of the nature of them, that you're not lifting your pencil, they often look different even if you're drawing the same thing. You can also color them in just like you would a regular still life, which is a lot of fun. All right, guys, so I showed you 3 different kinds of still life that you could do today. You can choose to do all 3. You can choose to just do 1. Any way you go. If you want to share them with me, just like always, send me an email or tweet it out to KP, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You guys ready to go do a thing? Awesome. Go do it.